Guys, I finally did it. I got the Platinum Trophy for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth after just under 2 months of playing the game. I conquered many battles, minigames and a 160 hour grind, and this is how I done it. I started this journey optimistic, being fresh off of Remakes Platinum. I cannot wait. This is my most anticipated game of this year. Finally, I start playing the game and get teased with playing as Sephiroth, then I move on. After a while, I finally got to take control of Cloud. Then shortly after, I got my first 2 trophies. Staggered learning. Then, I got this. For getting the first of many staggers and victories of the game. Then a wee bit after, I got another trophy for using a limit break for the first time.
Here goes.
Oh, it's so
That
cool.
one felt pretty good.
I continue hiking up the mountain and make my way into part of the reactor. While fighting an enemy there, I abused its weakness and got exploitive practices. After a while, we finally get to team up with Sephiroth. Oh my god, Sephiroth is just, that is so cool. And learn about the new tech in this game called Synergy Skills, where you team up with a teammate and do a special move. Doing so for the first time gives you the Team Player Trophy.
Get him.
Oh well, I didn't even mean to do that. Continuing on, we find a cave with the first boss of the game, the Materia Guardian. What is that? While fighting this boss, Cloud gets trapped, so using Sephiroth, I save him and get the Unfettered Friendship Trophy. Then in phase 2, we use a synergy ability, which is different from the skills, to get another trophy. After defeating the boss, we continue moving up to the reactor, figure out some more, then Sephiroth goes crazy and burns the village down. And after all that, I finish off chapter 1. At the start of chapter 2, we get given a deck of cards for a new minigame called Queen's Blood, which is a very strategic card game found throughout the world. After that brief introduction, we head out to learn about even more new features in this game. Folios, which is this game's skill tree, and relationship levels, which decides who you date later on in the game. I finished my business in Cam, which included raising my Queen's Blood rank, then get chased out when Shinra appears, which leads into the open world. It's this chapter that gives the player freedom to explore, and also starts the massive grind needed for 100%. I follow along with the story for now, and find my first cache, giving me the first of many collectible trophies. I make my way to the Chocobo Ranch in the Grasslands area, and get the Chocobo Pico after a few short minigames. Before leaving the ranch, we meet Chadley once again, who tells us about World Intel, which is just a fancy way of saying collectibles. After leaving, I start finding hidden treasure while on Chocoback. After finding 2 of these, I get my next trophy. It's also about this time I learn about side quests, so I head back to Cam and start every single one. I speak to the mayor and properly start my first side quest. During it, I use my first summon and get the Fledgling Summoner trophy. Then shortly after, I finish the quest and get the Entering New Markets trophy. After finishing a few more side quests, I continue exploring the map and collect as much world intel as I can. After finding 5 separate intels, I get the Intelligence Aid trophy. While fighting some enemies, I level up my first materia. Then shortly after, I max out one of my weapons proficiencies. I keep exploring and repair 3 Chocobo signs, which gives me the I Break for Chocobos trophy. Then finish the Proto Relic quests, which are minor side stories found in each region. After collecting loads of intel, I decide to move on with the story. I head down to the swamp and fight the Midgar Summer. After dealing with this boss, I head into the mines and finish chapter 2. Chapter 3 has us running through the Mithril Mines, then coming out the other side to the Junon region. After that wee adventure, I get the trophy for finishing chapter 3. I start off this chapter by getting the chocobo, then explore the map to find more world intel. After, I go to Under Junon, a small seaside village. While there, we see Yuffie about to get eaten by some sea creature. So, we go down, defeat this sea creature, and save her from drowning. We also get a flashback to the DLC.
Those guys
Oh my
there are from
god.
the Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell?
After that whole episode, we get told about plans going on in Upper Junon. So with some help from Mr. Dolphin, we manage to get topside and infiltrate the parade happening. Cloud becomes a captain for the parade and has to find at least 5 units before starting. I didn't know it at the time, but I missed 2 pretty easy trophies. Afterwards, I have to fight Roach, then get on the Shinra 8 cruise, finishing chapter 4. On the cruise is a Queen's Blood tournament. If I manage to beat everyone, I earn a trophy. So one after the other, I beat everyone on board and win the tournament. Then see Red wearing Shinra gear on 2 legs. Only after beating him is when I get the card royalty trophy. After the tournament, some creatures board the ship and fuse with the Colt guys. After winning a scrap with a Genova clone, I finished the chapter. We arrive at Costa del Sol and meet the one, the only, Johnny! He gives us a room at his hotel like the goat he is. Shortly after, we see why this game is going to be Game of the Year, then fight Hojo's robot. After beating it, Yuffie decides to join a team, then I finish chapter 6. Before moving on with the story, I decide to go back to the prior areas and find more collectibles, and also get a trophy for finding everything in the grasslands area. I then also start completing a few of the simulation battles from Chadley and got my first summon from a simulation battle. Now that I'm somewhat up to date with collectibles, I start hiking up Mount Corel and listen to one of the best music tracks in the whole game. As we made our way up, we go through an old reactor and find a massive whale called the Weapon. We then save a bird that looks like Cloud, and then we go on a cool minecart track with a massive jump through it. After that cool wee minigame, we go through Barrett's hometown of North Corel, then make our way up to the Gold Saucer, where we finish the chapter. Welcome to the Gold Saucer, the place that caused the most trouble, but more on that later. We have a story to finish. Here we meet a Scottish cat, then have a date with Aerith and play loads of minigames. Barrett gets accused of shooting up the place, but with some help from the Scottish cat, we go down to the desert and get captured. After some dodgy deals and a chocobo race, we manage to get away and find Barrett. We also find his old friend Dine. We have a minted boss fight, then another not so minted boss fight, then finish chapter 8 after seeing Zack's timeline. Now that the world is open for me again since finishing that last chapter, I thought I'd go back and find more collectibles. I went and found Moogle mushrooms, fought many different bosses, and got summon crystals. After finding 50 different pieces of world intel, I got the Intelligence Specialist trophy. I also got to play Fort Condor again, and if you remember from last video, I absolutely sucked at it. So I ended up just watching a guide to get through each mission and got the Proto Relic that way. And after many hours of finding collectibles and completing side quests, I finished a side quest with Johnny that unlocks the Hotel Star system, which is the sole reason why this platinum sucks. In each minigame you get given a high score to try and beat, and if you're successful, you get a reward and an in-game trophy put into Johnny's hotel. What makes this a hard task is how ridiculous some of these scores are to beat, and with there being 88 different trophies in the hotel. Anyways, I unlocked the first hotel trophy for having 1 star. I continue finding collectibles and doing any minigames I find. Then finally, I start playing for chapter 9. I make my way to the Gongaga village, meet Disney and Zack's parents, then after a while an explosion happens down by the reactor. The boys almost die, so the girls come over to save the day. Tifa's life flashes before our eyes literally, and that's how the chapter ends. Before moving on, I find even more collectibles, then fly to the Cosmo Canyon region with Sid. Now that I'm in the Cosmo Canyon region, I head towards the Cosmo Canyon village and watch an incredible cutscene about life and death. I then go into the Gi cave, which gave me Tears of the Kingdom vibes with the music and the particles coming from the floor. As we made our way through the cave, we find Red's dad at the end of it, then get kidnapped to another cave and get told about the black materia. After coming out of the cave, we get a Zack flashback, then after that, we move on to the Nibel region, finishing chapter 10. I make my way to an exact replica of Nibelheim after watching the destruction of the original in chapter 1. We go back up to the old reactor again. Cloud has a crazy flashback.
What is it?
I remember what happened here. To Zack.
No way. Then after making my way up there, we find a keycard and switch to the others. Now that I'm playing as Kate Sith, we explore Shinra Manor, slowly but surely making our way through the dungeon. After a while and many difficult battles, we meet back up with the reactor team and meet Vincent. We beat him in a scrap, then head out to fight Roach one last time. After getting done a few times, I finally managed to beat him in the 1v1, so I make my way back to the plane, then almost die in a crash, finishing chapter 11. Now that I'm in chapter 12, before I went on to do any more of the story, I went and found more collectibles. I ended up heading back into the gold saucer anyways, so I had to progress a little bit, but after that, while playing the chocobo races, I got my second Johnny related trophy, and also found a weird visual glitch.
Master points.
What on earth is going on with your face? Oh, nice. While collectible hunting, I collect all the proto relics in the Gungaga region after finishing Turk training missions. I then make my way back to the Cosmo Canyon region to of course find collectibles, but also to do the proto relic. I find out that Avalanche from the DLC are still alive and part of these quests. After a while, and some god awful minigames, I finally complete all the proto relic quests, getting me a cool cutscene where we see the Avalanche from the base game, and more importantly, a trophy. I then head back to the Nibel region and find my last Moogle mushroom, and find all the proto relics in the same region, letting us battle Gilgamesh. I started doing chocobo races again after collectible hunting, and on my last race I got not one, but 2 trophies. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, by Solitaire, I didn't even know I was gonna get that. Oh. Finally, after many hours of grinding, I moved on with the story and played another minigame called Loveless. For getting an S rank during it, I got the critically acclaimed trophy. After that lovely show I couldn't watch, I have a cheeky date with Tifa, then beat Corneo and friends in a scrap. Andrew Tate and his bird wanted a piece of the action, so I beat them in a brawl as well, winning the orb, only for it to be nicked by the Scottish cat. Then the big boss of Shinra wanted to fight, so I knocked Kits and his stupid dog's socks off, then find the daft cat that nicked the prize. Unfortunately, the cat got away and we lost the prize, but I did unlock the last side quest needed for a trophy. So I go play all the gold saucer minigames again and try beat the Shinra manager's score. After doing so in each game, I unlock not only the trophy, but also a secret boss in the 3D brawler game against Sephiroth. Now, when I tell you this was the hardest thing in the game, I mean it. It took me at least 3 hours just to beat him once. Yeah! Oh my god! Please tell me I never need to do any of these again. After beating him, I sat and stared at this screen for 10 minutes, admiring the sword I can't even use before moving on. After admiring the sword, I head over to the docks and finish chapter 12. But before finishing the game, I decided to go back and complete as much as possible, which didn't last long because the only notable thing I did was get the Proto Relic trophy for the Corel region. And now, it's time for chapter 13, the longest of the game. It has us run around an ancient Cetra temple, flipping gravity and fighting loads of monsters. At one point, the team gets split into 2, one consisting of Cloud, Tifa and Barret, and the other Aerith, Yuffie and Red. The first team's part was kinda boring, but Teams 2 has the air of taking ancient magic and building platforms, which was pretty cool. During this chapter, we get flashbacks for each character, looking into the past, except for Cloud, and my god, were these intense. We even got to see Sonon, who died at the end of the DLC. I would be lying if I didn't say I shed a tear by the end of this part. And you're not going to believe who came back. The big Scottish cat came back and sacrificed himself to save everyone. Afterwards, everyone managed to get out of the temple and finish chapter 13. Now on to the last chapter. It's definitely more cinematic than the rest, having more cutscenes than gameplay at the start of the chapter. Either way, we see Aerith die, and then after that is when the main final boss begins. It's a long ass fight with a 6-phase fight against Genova before fighting Sephiroth. Then when you're ready to fight him, his battle is 7 phases, where your teammates are selected based on your relationship levels with them. The fights were easy enough, it just took so long, and luckily on my first attempt I managed to make my way to the halfway point in Sephiroth's fight, and after a long drawn out fight I finally managed to beat Sephiroth, beating the game on normal mode. Now that I'm done with the main story, I decide to finish collecting every collectible and also defeat every simulation battle that Chadley's gave us, including his new ones that we got for beating Gilgamesh later on. I started off with the easier simulation battles, then found more remaining Queen's Blood matches. I then finished playing all the piano pieces with an A rank, getting me the Piano Virtuoso trophy. Woohoo. After finding all the proto relics earlier, an island appeared up north with Gilgamesh on it. After beating 3 really difficult tag team battles, I have the chance to fight with the samurai himself. After an intense scrap, I managed to barely pull a win, getting me not only the hard mode simulations, but also the trophy. Oh, that was so clean, that final hit. And since the quests on the island were also world intel, I got my last materials bought from Chadley. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Whee! Now, before starting any of the simulations, I go back and finish all the Colosseum matches back in the Gold Saucer. While doing so, I managed to get Cloud to level 70. Then the next round, I finished all the battles, giving me the Are You Not Entertained trophy. I then had to grind the bike minigame to get one last item for Johnny's Hotel. Now it's time for the big simulation grind. To save time, I used the incredible video guides by Optinoobs, whose name you might remember from last video, because I used his video guides in Remake as well. I hope you enjoy the montage of me completing all the simulation battles. Yes! Yes! I won! Yes! No! Yes! No! Oh, for God's sake! Come on! Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh no way! What? No! No way! Come on! Oh, come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Yes! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! And with that, I completed every hard simulation battle. I forgot to mention I also got a trophy for unlocking all the abilities at least once. Oh, nice.
I gather from your expression that you're eager
Fuck
for
off,
more.
I'm not doing any of your shitty fucking combat simulator shit ever
There may be
again,
no more intel
goddammit.
to collect, but I hope
Oh
we can still meet from time
my
to time.
god. That didn't last for long though, because right after this I went right back into the simulations to get the 300% stagger bonus trophy. Wait. Now that I've finished collecting everything and finished every battle, I started my hard mode playthrough. I used Optinoobs guides to get through each boss just to speed up the process since I've already spent over 150 hours at the time collecting everything, making the second playthrough a breeze. While playing through chapter 4 I got the 2 trophies I missed before in my original playthrough. 7th Assemble for finding all 10 units while in Upper Junon, and Stealing the Show for doing the hardest performances. After doing the both of these, it left 2 more in-game challenges for Johnny's Hotel, and they were both in chapters 11 and 12 respectively. 11's was to destroy 10 boxes in Shinra Manor using Kate Seth's Moogle, and the other was for completing a Loveless with Yuffie, and after getting both of them done, I headed straight to Johnny. It is it! Oh my god! And after collecting all 88 in-game trophies, this is what happens. 7-star hotel. The biggest grind of the game is finally done. What is inside this chest? One winged angel sheet music. Are you shitting me? Sheet music. And with all that out of the way, we can finally finish what we started, by beating Sephiroth one last time. Using guides, it took me about a day to complete all of hard mode, and after a lengthy fight I managed to beat the final fight. Yes! I've just beat the game on hard mode. Oh my god, I've just beat the game on hard mode. And as the credits roll one last time, I can proudly say I managed not only to beat the game on hard mode, but to get the Platinum Trophy for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, the proudest Platinum I've ever gotten. Before finishing off, I want to apologise for the massive delay between uploads. This plat itself took just under 2 months to complete, and after getting it, I didn't feel motivated to edit everything. But things are different now. I'm going to try post every 2 to 3 weeks, and if I don't, then I just might be playing a longer game. I want to quickly shout out Optinoob once again for his fantastic guides, and if you do ever decide to Platinum Rebirth or Remake, I recommend to please use his guides. It helps so much and saves so much time in the long run. And with that all being said, if you enjoyed the video then please give it a like, and give me some feedback on how I can improve. And I will see you in the next one.